for the FCT brief. In Akwana, Abuja, over to you.
Good morning, Ria. It's good to be back here this morning. Happy Monday to you from home that you're watching us.
Yeah, good morning, Nigerians, and it's also a beautiful Monday morning to us here in Abuja. TJ, I think let's just hit the ground running because so much to discuss today.
Well, good morning, Nigeria. Nigeria's public universities are once again on the brink of paralysis as the Academic Staff Union of Universities has declared a 2-week total strike, accusing the federal government of insensitivity and failure to honor previous agreements. The industrial action takes effect from today following the expiration of a 2-week ultimatum to the government to resolve long-standing issues affecting the education sector. ASUU President Professor Christopher Piwuna said the decision became necessary due to years of unfulfilled promises. He explained that the union's National Executive Council took the decision after a series of fruitless meetings with government representatives.
However, the federal government has called on the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, to reconsider its decision to embark on an industrial strike, emphasizing that constructive dialogue remains the most effective and sustainable path toward resolving all outstanding issues in the tertiary education sector. And this latest strike revives memories of prolonged shutdowns that have repeatedly disrupted Nigeria's academic calendar, leaving students and parents frustrated. It also underscores the fragile state of labor relations in the education sector, where trust between the union and government has worn dangerously thin. Dr. Odo Nathaniel John is a lecturer in the Department of History and Diplomatic Studies, Federal University of Kashere, Gombe State. He joins us via Zoom. Good morning.
Good morning, presenter and co-presenter.
All right.
I can see my... good morning, viewers.
Okay.
I'm glad to be here.
Nice to have you. And here in the studio is the big masquerade himself, the National President of ASUU, Professor Christopher Piwuna. Nice to have you join us this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Okay, let's hit the ground with these. Yesterday, you called for a nationwide strike. Can you help bring us up speed with what led to this? We remember that the government said that they have so far released 50 billion for payment of end academic allowance and also released another 50 billion captured in the 2025 budget. Would you say that these are not sufficient to meet the demands of ASUU that you have to shut down the universities at this time?
Well, thank you very much for having our union once again to this program. I think the issue of 50 billion, whether it is EAA or revitalization fund, is something that is commendable. We thank the government. They've been able to get rid of that. We wish it were more, but it's a good start. But there are issues that they could have also addressed that they didn't address. The issue of our 2009 agreement that has dragged on for over 13 years. Some issues that came up when this government came on board, issue of 25-35% salary increase, our promotion arrears, third-party deductions, pension, check-off dues to our union, cooperative contributions. All these are part of the problems that still remain. And we thought we had given government enough time to try to address these issues. This current government, we started with the past Minister of Education, too much talk, no action. Same thing, this government, they've talked a lot about what they are doing, yet their plate is still full. They have not addressed most of these issues. So without sounding ungrateful or appreciative of government completely, we want to put this issue of 50 billion naira aside. By the way, the 50 billion naira for revitalization is actually 300 billion naira. They said they can't afford that. They reduced it to 150 billion naira. They said they were going to do it in 3 tranches. They've done the first tranche, after about 6 months of waiting. So if they want to pat themselves on the back for doing that, we won't take that away from them.
All right, Mr. Pibuna, this is not the first time that ASUU is going or enforcing strike on the grounds of welfare. But let's take a look at the students who feel this the most. Students have lost many academic years due to this strike and the same issue. And they are asking, why should we suffer again for the same issue? What do you have to say to them?
Students have suffered, no doubt. We can't take that away from them, that it has been very difficult for them. Those who have even passed off the university by now, but had suffered it in the past, those who are still in the university and they are going through it right now. Certainly, it's a very tough thing. But the way we see it in ASUU is that each of such struggles that we've embarked on, each of those things that we've done that have resulted in a strike, has actually benefited students. Unfortunately, it has to be true this way, but it has benefited students more for us as a system. And I'll give you an example. It is as a result of strike action that TET Fund was established in 1992. It was as a result of strike action that the needs assessment was done, and it is now being practiced. It was the needs assessment that made President Goodluck Jonathan to release 220 billion naira. It has done quite a lot in the universities. It has improved facilities. Those who are studying computer science, for instance, if you go, computers have been provided to most students. Infrastructure has been improved. Hostels have been enlarged. And hostels have been renovated. Lecture halls have been built. So our action has led to benefits in terms of the conditions of learning for students. Is it only strike that will make these things happen? We have tried everything. We have tried discussions. We have tried writing letters. We've tried meetings. We've tried behind-the-scenes discussions. We have visited traditional rulers away from the cameras. We have visited opinion leaders in this country away from the cameras. It hasn't worked. It is only when we get to this point that government responds. Unfortunately, if there is anybody, including our students, if there's anybody that thinks there's one thing that we need to do outside what we have done, we are ready to learn.
Okay, the one thing will just be the dialogue that we need to sustain. And the last time you said you're meeting with government officials, and some there's this quote, they said, don't judge us by your perception of us, judge us by our record and our sincerity. You just said that, good enough, there's this 50 billion, this 50 billion. You gave them a pass mark in that. Now, is that not part of it that you should still have remained on this negotiation table for a bit longer, especially that you're considering the prospect of our students, that you should have stayed a bit longer and not to shut down at this moment?
You know, for me, even as a psychiatrist, I missed it this time. I actually thought we were dealing with a sincere set of people, especially in the Ministry of Education. I must admit that I failed woefully. The Ministry of Education, led by the minister, has not been sincere to us on this matter. In fact, 3 weeks ago, the minister told us that the document was ready. Their counter position. He said it was ready. And that they were just waiting for the chairman of the federal government side to return from religious pilgrimage. And they will present it to us. Do you know what happened? We went to that meeting Friday last week, sat at that meeting the way we were sitting with you, and we were waiting for government to transmit the document for us to discuss. We waited, and Senator Tejosho, who chaired the committee, actually just found something for us to do, to wait for that document to come from government. Something that the minister said was ready for them to present. These are the documents they presented to us. This document was printed while we were seated there. And guess what? When it was printed and the content of this document was being discussed, most members on the government side said they were seeing it for the first time. Enough for sincerity.
Well, let's talk to Mr. Nathaniel John. Mr. Nathaniel John, do we have you there, please? Well, you, on the part of, you're a lecturer. Now, help us understand the pulse of the students at this moment. With the economic hardship and everything that is happening in the country, do you think that they still have ASUU sympathy at heart at this point?
Thank you very much for this wonderful question. It is actually a very sad day for the academic community, the students, the lecturers, and also the university community as a whole. It's actually very painful to have us through this road again, because we can remember the excruciating things we went through during the 8-month strike. And actually, we sympathize with our students for them to go through this process again, because we had thought that the promise made to us by this administration that there will be no more ASUU strike. When the president made this statement, we were elated that there will be no more ASUU strike, and then they are for it.
Okay, let's come back to you, President. Considering part of the statement yesterday from government reacting to your call for a national strike is that they are standing law that no work, no pay will be effected. Are your members ready for this?
You know, we've gone through this before. In fact, one of our demands is an outstanding 3.5-month salary that they are owing us from 2022.
From the strike
the strike that we embarked on. For government to be so eager to invoke this matter of no work, no pay, it shows they have not learned anything. That can never, ever, ever be a basis for our not taking action. Never. Do you know what they are offering us in this document? They are offering us 25% increase on our present salary. 25% increase. So if you are earning, say, 200,000 naira, all they are adding to your salary is 25% before tax. Ask our members whether because of this 25% before tax increase is what will make them fear no work, no pay. We are not afraid of no work, no pay. We are not afraid of that. We've gone through it before. Let them stop our salaries. What this government needs to understand is that this warning strike is a window. It's an opportunity for us to come back to the table and try to resolve this problem. Sir, we could do more at the end of this warning strike. And when we start it, they can keep their salary. They can stop it. They can stop it. We are not ready to be enslaved for the rest of our career because of a threat of stopping our salary now. Slavery is a lifetime thing. We are not ready for it. But if they think that is where they want to go, fine. We have never, ever been deterred because of a threat of stopping our salary. We've never been deterred. And we will not be deterred this time around.
All right, Mr.
So let them do what they want to do.
From what I understand, ASUU is ready to negotiate with government. But we will talk more about that right after the short break. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. All right, Mr. Piwuna, Some critics are saying that ASUU has become more political than academic. That is, activism now sounds like opposition rather than advocacy. How would you respond to this perception?
When President Tinubu was out of power, PDP accused us of standing with him, that we were political, that the party, CPC, APC, those in opposition, that they were using us. Now that they are in power, they are saying the others are using us. So it's something that they will never stop to say. But look at the issues that we raise. If we say we want sustainable funding for public education, universities, is that political? If we say we want improvement in our welfare, in our conditions of service, is that political? If we say we want autonomy and academic freedom, is that political? Those are things that we will argue for, whether it is LP that is in power, PDP that is in power, or APC that is in power. It has no political face. But when they want to blackmail you, when they want you to back out, they throw up things like that at you, believing that, oh, you're going to feel scared. But we've gone through this a lot. Even when the military were in government, the military accused our leaders back then of being used by people, external forces to destabilize the country. So it's an accusation, that we've been used to over time, but it will not change our desire for a better system to improve our universities and improve ourselves.
Okay, Dr. John, let me still repeat the same question asked by my colleague. Okay, Mr. President, let me still come back to you with this. Now considering the way this strike is dragging, have you thought of also getting the National Assembly involved in this? Because we're getting to the end of 2025 and the budget appropriation for 2026 will soon be ready, so that you also talk to them and they will also look at how to increase some funding, probably to even increase the allocation to TED fund and other issues. Have you sought to meet with the leadership of the National Assembly?
Well, yeah, thank you so much for that question. But let me try to see if I can answer the question Nat was supposed to answer in Gombe.
All right.
How are the students feeling? This morning, as I'm in this studio, we are supposed to be marking scripts, exam scripts, in my department this morning. Imagine you're a student. You have started the exams, and suddenly there's an interruption. I think it is very easy for us to imagine what students are going through. It is very painful. And government should also look at this. It's not just ASUU. And it's to make sure that this matter ends and ends very fast. We are ready to come back to the table to discuss these issues. This document that was given to us is not what we agreed with Alhaji Yahya Ahmed. We had agreed on a document that is based on previous agreements. 1992, 1999, 2009. Government has made progress. We have made progress. These agreements have been institutionalized. That's why we still have TED fund. These agreements have been institutionalized. That is why in 2009, professors retired at 70. These are agreed terms. Government cannot just sit now and throw them away and bring in new things saying that that is what they want to do. That is a complete violation of the principles of collective bargaining. In this document, in this document, there are things that are as a result of the act passed by the National Assembly, going back to his question. They have jettisoned it without changing the law. So National Assembly needs to look at what we're doing. They need to be interested in what we're doing so that they will also understand. And we are open to discussions from any direction at all, whether it is National Assembly or students, anywhere. We're already engaging the students at our branch levels.
Mr. Piwuna, I like the fact that earlier you mentioned that, this is not the first time that, strike actions have happened and you have achieved some level of, progress with strike action. But currently, it doesn't seem to be working. Now, has ASUU's message lost power because the messenger now seems stuck with an old script?
Has ASUU's message, lost its potency as a result of constant strike? We don't think so. We don't think so. We think over 90% of Nigerians understand what we're saying when we go on strike. It's painful. They understand it. They appreciate it. It's our leaders that do not understand, that do not accept our message. So I don't think our message has lost its potency. If you have a child that is in the university, your son is part of the people we're about to mark their scripts. Are you going to be happy with this strike? Certainly not. But are you going to appreciate the fact that there's need to make the system better? Obviously you will. So our message has not lost its potency. We still believe that there are reasonable people in the society, even in government. You could find some reasonable people who understand that these things need to be done. But I don't know why it is taking government so much time and, for them to understand and appreciate this message. I don't know. Maybe one of these days you could get one of them to ask whether they think we are just a bunch of troublemakers who don't make sense and all the issues that we're raising are non-existent, like the issue of I would like you to ask the minister, I would like to ask the Minister of Education, when he comes to a studio like this, to say that 50 billion naira has been released for Nigerian universities. I would like to ask him, 50 billion naira for 193 universities? 50 billion naira in this day and age that naira is no longer what it used to be a few years back, that you give 50 billion naira for 193 universities, state and federal universities, and that you are bragging about it. You are telling the whole world that you've given 50. How much is the worth of 50 billion naira now? What 50 billion naira will do to one university today is what 1 billion naira would have done 10 years ago. So when they keep talking as if they are doing so much and nobody is seeing it, I wonder whether they take in everything, the economics, the living conditions of people. When you say all you are going to do is to give them 25% increase after waiting for 16 years without change in their salary.
Right, Mr. Piwuna, I would like you to hold that thought because we need to take this quick commercial break now. Don't go anywhere. There's more. We're glad to have you back. Now, let's go back to our conversation. We'll be wrapping up now.
Yeah, let me just quickly ask you this. Earlier, you talked about, you said some schools are just about writing the examination. Now, doesn't that place the burden on ASUU that you didn't allow such schools to complete the academic calendar so that the students will not have this kind of collateral damage? Just thinking about even a medical doctor, probably you won't expect a medical doctor in the theater because there is a strike, who will just leave his patients. Shouldn't you have considered also that, look, schools that are about writing the examination, allow the students to conclude that before joining the strike? Wouldn't that be a better approach?
We have received such suggestions in the past. And to be honest with you, I think it's something that we should consider going forward. Maybe we'll find a way to make that effective, to coordinate it quite well. Like exam have started. Exam is 3 weeks. So you do your exams and then join the strike. Maybe one day we'll get there. But I agree that it's a humane, perhaps even more reasonable way to go about it. But it's a decision that NEC would have to consider and probably see if there are problems with it, and if there are no problems with it, if it will not affect the effectiveness of our strike. I think it's something that we should consider going forward.
Well, Mr. Piwuna, we'll definitely keep our eye on that, and we'll definitely hope that ASUU and the federal government.
You're always talking for students. You're always talking for students.
Well, I was not a student, and I understand.
You never argue for ASUU. You always argue for students.
Well, they are the ones that are feeling the heat at the moment, but we sympathize with ASUU as well. We definitely hope that, ASUU has its demands met, and, the federal government and ASUU find a middle ground. Thank you so much, Mr. Piwuna, for your time.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And also, Mr. Nathaniel John, unfortunately, we couldn't have a robust conversation with you, but we must say thank you so much for joining us. Now we'll hand you over to Lagos, where Ria and the rest of the team are standing by to continue with the rest of the show.
Thank you so much, Abuja. That was such a timely conversation. Thank you.